Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Sterling Eccles 590. In these videos I'm going to show you how to essentially set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, you've got your black head just here. This is your stabilizer head, and you've got your black lever just there. You have to have your black lever pulled up and then wind the jockey wheel down onto the tow ball. That will snap that black lever back, pushing up this red button and exposing a green ring. You've got your handbrake just here, and your jockey wheel, and your point to pull your jockey wheel up there as well. Then the caravan is equipped with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. We're running with our test equipment today here, so as you can see I've got a propane gas bottle. You can run butane, and it's just dependent on the brand you want to use. However, I'd always recommend propane and Cala for when you're in the UK, as it's the most popular. I've got an in-date gas hose. Now these black gas hoses, they run for 5 years, so this one's dated 2024, which connects onto this regulator just here. Hand tighten that as much as you can, then once you've finished with that, just nip it up with a spanner. Once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas in the positive or open direction, and that will begin to feed gas through. Main thing to note on that as well, the gas hose itself will have a rubber O-ring. Make sure that the O-ring is not corroded or anything like that. So as you can see on this one, is for an example, make sure it's there, make sure it's in good nick. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. Your legs are used to stabilise the caravan. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs. First level using your jockey wheel, then stabilise using all 4 corner steadies. Caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can purchase yourself a 19mm drill part and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Coming around to the other side, starting off first, you have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just next to it, you've got your water pump. So, water pump itself connects in by just pressing in. You've got a plastic cap to go over the top of the Eccles. I'll just spin that round. And up the bottom, you have your strainer. Your strainer is used to get clean air in and out of just into the boiler. However, make sure that this sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise you will just be gasping through air. What a lot of people will do, they'll get some PVC piping or some old hose pipe and just connect it towards the bottom just to make it straight, as these do have a bit of a tendency to curl up. And just next to it you have your battery locker. Your battery locker, as you can see, houses your battery just there. Then you have a plug-in for your mains just there, and you can see your little cutout there for the mains lead. Motor mover we will go over with you on collection. Then lastly we have your toilet function. So first, underneath here you have 2 inserts, which is where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we have your cassette toilet. So to remove this, press up on the handle just here and pull out just like so. Then you can also extend this part out to turn it into a bit of a carry-on suitcase. When you get to your emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, twist off that cap just like so. Then you want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually press the vent button in. Then what you can do, this is only a recommendation, twist that open, feed in some fresh water, give it a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then when you need to put it back, twist that head back to the side, push it in so that the orange handle sits behind those white teeth. Then just up above we have your flush tank. So the flush tank itself, you feed into the water just here using something like a watering can. The tank can hold about 12 litres, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill it. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive. Then you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here you've got a little bung, open that up and drain off the remaining flush tank. Then underneath here we have essentially all of this. Now I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here as you don't want to damage any of the wiring. So first, underneath there you have your boiler. If you ever need to do resets or anything, the panel for it's on top. You have these blue leads leading to that yellow switch valve. So those blue leads is where the water's coming through, and that yellow switch valve is your drain valve. When it's in the horizontal position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, when you switch it up to vertical position, that means that it will drain off any water that is inside the system. November to March, have that up permanently, as you don't want any water in the system that could potentially freeze over and burst the pipes. And just whenever you come off site, just give it a drain off, as you don't want to damage any internals whilst travelling. We will leave it in the drain position for you when you leave, so just check that before you come to use it. This black box here is your essentially brain box for your motor mover. Again, if you ever need to do resets, it's on this panel. This silver box on the side is your battery charger, and on the top here you have all your trips and your fuses. I'd always recommend keeping a few extra fuses inside the caravan in case one were to trip, and all your trips in the upright position. As you can see, heating and hot water and charger are both illuminated, meaning that they are both working and active. And then you have the reverse polarity button just there, and then lastly you have a system shutdown button. You press that in, nothing inside the caravan will work. That's essentially your dead stop. Then pull down this panel, you have some more information on your trips and fuses, telling you what they represent. And just here we have your main control panel. So when it's turned on, just here you've got a sensor at the top, so if I just waft my hand, it turns itself on. I can cycle through this part at the top. It tells you a few bits like solar and the leisure battery voltage. That leisure battery voltage right now is with the combination of both mains and the battery. Well, it's mains, it's not the battery. However, when you just have the battery engaged and no mains inside, it will give you an accurate reading for that. So first up, you've got your water pump button just here. Press that in. You'll hear it kick in. It will begin to suck through the water from your Eccles, and then you need to do essentially some tests. So you can check your shower, it's sink inside there. However, if I just come to this one, here it's suck in. Open up on both cold and hot, and what you're looking for is that nice steady continuous stream. If you haven't used the caravan in a little bit of time, I'd recommend waiting about 2 to 3 minutes just to allow it to flow through. Check it on both hot and cold. If you see any coughs or splutters, just go outside and check and make sure that the strainer is set at the bottom of the valve. But you're essentially looking for that nice steady stream. Let it run for about 30 seconds, then check your other taps as well. Just make sure that those are both working. When you use water, you'll hear it be replaced and sucked back into the boiler. Next up, we have some lighting settings. So first up, that's your internal lights for the front and back. So this one here is front, this one here is back. Then you've got your awning light for outside, as you can see just there. When I press that light button there as well, I can also individually go and dim it. But yeah, super simple to use. Water pump, front lights, back lights, awning light. And just here we have your control panel for the outdoor wet central heating. So this is your essentially your home screen, which tells you the current temperature of the caravan. Press in the menu button and you'll come to first this screen. So you can go up and down, 0.5 on this one, and that is for your internal temperature that you desire. Whatever you set it to, it will get to that temperature. It does take an hour for it to get to that temperature though. Then you have the shower icon here, so I can either have that off, mid, which will get the water temperature to about 40 to 50 degrees, or full. Now what full does, it prioritizes for water heat over the heating of the actual caravan for about 15 to 30 minutes. I believe it's 30 minutes on this one, and then it will drop it back down to mid after it has gotten up to temperature. So that is ideal for in the morning if you're wanting to use the shower or something like that. Then you've got energy source, so you can either have 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of mains, strictly gas, or a mixture of gas and 1, 2, 3. So you do have the choice of gas mains or a mixture of both. So internal temperature, water temperature, different sources. Then press this button here, the cogs. This is additional settings. Not going to go through these today as this is something additional. If you'd like to have a look inside your book packs to see what that essentially does, please do so. Then to turn it off, just press that button there and turns off the panel. Then just here we have your hob grill and oven. So this is all operating on gas minus the electric plate. Electric plate, just spin it to the correct setting, what you want, and just let it get to temperature. Everything else you have to press in the dial, twist it to the side, and at the same time press the igniter. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. When you first turn on the gas, I'd say this is one of the first things to check. Just make sure all of these are working. Then for the grill, as you can see again. And then lastly, your oven. And there you go, oven all nice and lit as well. Only other real thing to note, you want to travel with this glass sheet down, but make sure all of these burners are cold to the touch until you put it down, and make sure you travel with your gas off. Then here we have your fridge controls. So turn this on, press and hold this button just here. As you can see, it will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains. You've got the choice of either mains, gas or battery. Now battery is for when you're plugged in with 13-pin electrics. Don't think that's your leisure battery, that will just trip out the fridge. But let's say I want to go for gas, I just press in on the icon. As you can see, when the fridge is on, it turns blue. You'll hear the gas gradually begin to tick in, and once it's finished ticking, that means it is then lit. So just go back to mains, then you have your amount of power coming in. So you can either have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill the fridge the quickest. It does take around 4 hours for the fridge to be fully chilled, so just have it on whilst you're driving. But just so you can see what a hazard looks like, I'm just going to press battery. As you can see, flashes up and beeps at you. Then to turn this dial off, you just press and hold, and flashes itself off. Then lastly, you have your toilet settings, which you might say is box simple. So flush the toilet, press this button here, and you'll hear the motor whir and kick in. Then once that's pushed away any waste, press away on the handle, opens up the cassette, and pull it back towards you. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light come on underneath there, telling you to empty it.